Extraordinary Congress of People's Representatives, we, the people of Russia, have realized that those in power are deliberately ruining all aspects of national life and leading to the destruction of the Russian people. The entire West, NATO, not just Ukraine, are at war with us. During the special military operation, our troops have never been able to fully liberate the territories of the LPR and DPR. Our losses among our men are enormous, as is evident from the growing cemeteries. And we stand on the brink of a full-scale war on our territory. Bombs could soon fall on our heads. Europe and the US have long been openly declaring that they are preparing for war with Russia. And by summer, Ukraine will have many times more attack drones and guided bombs. We, the people of Russia, have nowhere to run during the bombing. There are no bomb shelters for you and me. They were destroyed under Shoigu. The only standards we have are the GOST standards for mass burials in mass graves. The Congress established that such situation was created by the puppet system of power that came to power in Russia as a result of the 1991 to 1993 coup d'état. Since then, Russia has been governed from overseas in a colonial manner in accordance with the Chia's Harvard Project. In this situation, we, the people of Russia, have only one chance to survive. To remove from power those who are leading the country and its people to destruction, and to openly, not secretly, elect to power honest representatives of the Russian people, who have demonstrated their loyalty to the country and its people through their actions over many years. The Extraordinary Congress of People's Representatives resolves: 1. Guided by Article 3 of the Constitution of Russia, the participants and delegates of the Extraordinary Congress express the will of the people, as 1,203 delegates from 86 constituent entities of the Russian Federation participated in the work of the Congress. All 8 federal districts are represented at the Congress. Delegates presented powers of attorney from 29,846 citizens, entrusting them with the right to vote on their behalf on all issues on the agenda. And the people of Russia, according to the Constitution, are the sole source of power in the country. It is we, citizens of the Russian Federation, who, according to Article 59 of the Constitution of the Russian Federation, are charged with the responsibility of defending our fatherland. It is our civic duty. Article 45 of the Constitution states, "Everyone has the right to defend their rights and freedoms by all means not prohibited by law." Article 59 of the Constitution of the Russian Federation states, "Defense of the fatherland is the duty and obligation of a citizen of the Russian Federation." Zorkin, chairman of the Constitutional Court of the Russian Federation, stated, "Defense of the fatherland is not limited to military service or participation in repelling external aggression, etc., i.e., resisting attacks on state unity and integrity from without, but also means resisting the usurpation of power or opposing attacks on the constitutional order from within, no matter who these attacks may come from." And we can see that the usurpation of power stems from the very system of power that came to power in the country through the illegal and bloody coup d'état of 1993. And our duty is to return power to the people of Russia. The Universal Declaration of Human Rights, adopted by the UN General Assembly, states, "Whereas disregard and contempt for human rights have resulted in barbarous acts which have outraged the conscience of mankind, whereas it is essential, if man is not to be compelled to have recourse, as a last resort, to rebellion against tyranny and oppression, that human rights should be protected by the rule of law." The Extraordinary Congress aims to prevent further bloody chaos. The Congress organizes the people of Russia on a peaceful path to lifting the colonial yoke, similar to the path of Mahatma Gandhi, who freed India from colonization without resorting to arms, through the power of popular unification. In Resolution 2326-22 of December 16, 1967, the General Assembly declared that colonial systems and racist regimes constitute crimes against humanity and that the existence of these systems and regimes constitutes a threat to international peace and security. In relevant resolutions, the General Assembly emphasized the legitimacy of national liberation movements in the struggle against colonialism. The Extraordinary Congress of Representatives of the People of Russia is such a legitimate national liberation movement. 2. We consider that our country's acting leadership consists of criminals and foreign agents under foreign influence, and therefore the Russian people have every right to vote no confidence in them and dismiss them. We are convinced that Putin and the individuals he has appointed to the highest government positions have deliberately committed acts that bear the hallmarks of a number of crimes, including particularly serious ones. Genocide, Article 357 of the Criminal Code. High treason, Article 275 of the Criminal Code. Sabotage, Article 281 of the Criminal Code. Subversion of the constitutional order and the violent retention of power, Article 278 of the Criminal Code. Organizing and participating in a criminal organization, Article 210 of the Criminal Code. A terrorist act, Article 205 of the Criminal Code. Abuse of office, Article 285 of the Criminal Code. Concealment of vital information, Article 237 of the Criminal Code. Fraud, Article 159 of the Criminal Code. Those guilty of committing these crimes must be held accountable for their actions. In Russia, the status of foreign agent is equivalent to enemy of the people and currently is reserved for those who live in Russia but act in the interests of another country, against the interests of Russian citizens. Foreign agents do exist, but this label is systematically applied to patriots who have nothing in common with foreign agents, but instead are labeled for their human rights activities on behalf of the country and the people of Russia. This is a criminal offense, politically motivated discrimination, Article 136 of the Russian Criminal Code. Meanwhile, the servants of the colonizers, the puppets who wield enormous foreign influence, educate their children abroad and keep their property abroad, have legally protected themselves from being labeled foreign agents. But the Constitution and democracy do not grant them such a right. Everyone in the country must be equal before the law. The system has adopted a law that prohibits public authorities, political parties, and religious organizations from being designated as foreign agents. Many representatives of the current power system display all the hallmarks of foreign agents. All citizens have equal rights before the law. There should be no exceptions. According to the Russian government, approximately 17,000 government employees have completed internships abroad since 1998. About 10% of judges also studied abroad. Putin attended training at the National Democratic Institute on International Affairs from 1992 to 1996. Media and investigators regularly uncover the children of ministers, deputies, governors, and heads of state-owned companies who studied in the UK, the US, Switzerland, France, and other countries. Most high-ranking officials own property abroad. All of this clearly points to foreign influence on government officials. The people of Russia resolved to uphold the Constitution regarding equality before the law, remove foreign agents from power, and replace them with representatives of the people. 3. We, as the people of a democratic country, are obliged to build real popular sovereignty. We have every right to local self-government. To get the country out of the crisis, first of all, it is necessary to unite the people into councils. A council of home, courtyard, district, city, region, Council is an absolutely legitimate form of unification and interaction of people. Article 12 of the Constitution states, "In the Russian Federation, local self-government is recognized and guaranteed. Local government is independent within the limits of its powers. Local authorities are not included in the system of state authorities. The population independently determines the structure of local government bodies." Article 131 of the Constitution of the Russian Federation. According to Federal Law No. 33/FZ on the general principles of organizing local self-government in a unified system of public authority, local self-government is a form of self-organization of citizens recognized and guaranteed by the Constitution of the Russian Federation in order for the people to exercise their power to independently resolve issues of directly supporting the life of the population, issues of local importance, within the powers provided for by the Constitution of the Russian Federation and federal laws. Since acting authorities have demonstrated to us, the people, their complete inability and unwillingness to fulfill their responsibilities to organize the life of the country and the people, to protect us from natural, social, and military disasters, the people of Russia are obliged to protect themselves and the country from impending threats. We have the right to control the authorities and organize public control over the activities of deputies, officials, judges, and security forces. The Constitution provides the basis for public control. We have every right to govern the state ourselves. Public control is an absolutely legal procedure. In accordance with Article 3 of the Constitution of the Russian Federation, the people are the sole source of power in the country. The Constitution of the Russian Federation has supreme legal force, is directly applicable, and applies throughout the territory of the Russian Federation. State authorities, local government bodies, officials, citizens, and their associations are obligated to comply with the Constitution of the Russian Federation and laws, Article 15 of the Constitution. The people exercise their power directly, as well as through state authorities and local government bodies, Article 3 of the Constitution. State authorities and local governments have long failed to express the will of the people and openly violate the Constitution of the Russian Federation, as a result of which they have lost all trust of the only source of power in Russia, its multinational people. Article 32 of the Constitution of the Russian Federation enshrines the right of the people to participate in the governance of state affairs both directly and through their representatives. We intend to exercise this right directly through public control, aiming to assess the performance of state and local government bodies, every official, and every public authority. Article 30 of the Constitution of the Russian Federation also grants us this right, guaranteeing the people the right to association and the freedom of public associations. This means that local councils can conduct popular oversight, exercising the power of the people directly through this form. Article 33 of the Constitution of the Russian Federation grants citizens the right to personally address, as well as to submit individual and collective petitions to state and local government bodies. All authorities are obligated to provide comprehensive and substantive responses to these petitions. The Extraordinary Congress of People's Representatives resolves 1. To consider the current system of government harmful to the Russian people, having come to power in an illegal, bloody coup led by the CIA. To consider the actions of the current system of government subversive and destructive. To establish an independent public commission to investigate whether the following government officials, who have lost the public's trust, are foreign agents: Putin, S.K., Shoigu, D.A., Medvedev, M.V., Mishustin, D.S., Peskov, S.V., Lavrov, T.A. Golikova, Matviyenko, E.S. Nabiullina, K. Chuichenko, G. Gref, E. Mizullina, Berl-Lazar. 2. According to Article 59 of the Constitution of the Russian Federation, defending the fatherland is the duty and obligation of citizens of the Russian Federation. Every citizen of Russia is obligated to participate in the defense of the fatherland from total destruction under the enemy's Harvard Project, and from the growing threat of full-scale war. The people of Russia must self-organize against the tightly organized foreign enemy that has colonized Russia since the coup d'état. Recognize Svetlana Lada Rus as the leader of the people, and the Lada Rus team as the vanguard of liberation. Recognize the 20 years of work by Lada Rus and her supporters as liberatory and human rights defending, not criminal. Demand that the colonial authorities cease political fabrications and slanderous accusations against the leader and the team, and drop all politically motivated criminal cases. 3. All Russian citizens are urged to participate in the creation and work of territorial councils, which are to be established in accordance with Articles 12, 130, and 131 of the Constitution of the Russian Federation and Federal Law 33 FZ on general principles of local self-government in a unified system of public authority. Every locality should have a citizens' council. Each council should be part of the overall system of councils across the country, which has already been created by grassroots activists. The system's coordinator is the People's Tribune. 4. Councils shall establish public commissions to exercise public control over deputies, officials, judges, and security forces, in accordance with Articles 3, 15, 30, 32, and 33 of the Constitution of the Russian Federation. The results of public oversight shall be published in the public domain to ensure transparency of the activities of the aforementioned individuals. Those who fail public control shall be given a vote of no confidence, and a demand for their resignation shall be submitted to the appropriate authorities. 5. To create public militias in case of emergency and to prevent chaos and looting. Each council should have such a militia of strong men to protect its territory and population, patrol the streets, and maintain public order. 6. Every citizen of Russia should participate in the all-Russian popular vote for your destiny, through which the people of Russia will determine their true attitude toward the current system of government and exercise their right to participate in the governance of the country. 7. To conduct a nationwide public opinion poll to determine the true will of the people regarding the implementation of the special military operation. Whether the people approve of the continuation of the special military operation or demand its termination. 8. To notify the UN that the Russian people consider the acting system of government illegitimate, failing to represent the interests of the Russian people, and have legally declared a vote of no confidence in it. To inform the international community that a national liberation movement exists in Russia to free itself from colonial dependence. In accordance with UN General Assembly Resolution 2326-22 of December 16, 1967. 9. To approve and widely disseminate the resolution of the Extraordinary Congress of People's Representatives among the general public. The resolution is mandatory for every citizen of Russia who strives to fulfill their civic duty to defend the fatherland from death. We consider any attempts to persecute citizens for disseminating vital information voiced at the Congress to be an obstruction of our civic and constitutional duties to defend our fatherland and proof of the anti-people nature of the system of government.
Исполнению наших гражданских и конституционных обязанностей по защите своего Отечества, доказательством антинародности системы власти. На голосование выносится вопрос о принятии резолюции съезда.
Просим делегатов съезда проголосовать о принятии резолюции. Кто за? Кто против? Кто воздержался? Абсолютным большинством голосов народные представители приняли резолюцию. Ура!